Welcome back to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. My name is Steve Johnson, Aurelio Martinez. In the second episode, what we want to talk about is fights that are coming up this upcoming weekend of August the 29th. I'm going to start off, Aurelio, and I know you have some profound thoughts on this, but let me talk about, we have a fight with Roy Jones Jr. Now, you know Roy Jones. Roy is 62-8 with 45 KOs. He's going to travel to the Netherlands, and he's going to take on Danny Santiago.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you sure this ain't a replay or something? Because he just fought, didn't he?
Yes,
didn't he just fight?
Yes, he did. He just fought. And since you want to go that route, I'll move right on up. He's getting ready to fight again September the 12th. It's already laid out. But hold on a minute. Let's first talk about Danny Santiago. Okay? Like I said, Danny Santiago was 33-7 with 19 KOs. All 7 of his losses have been by KO.
Okay.
Then on September the 12th, Roy's going to travel to Liverpool in the UK. He's going to take on Tony Moran, who is 15-6 with 5 KOs, for the vacant WBF World Boxing Federation Intercontinental Cruiserweight title. Now, before you get started, Aurelio, let me just say this. This fight with Danny Santiago in the Netherlands, and then this next fight on September 12th in the UK, it's obvious to me, as I'm sure it is to you, Roy's taking his show on the road in Europe. Okay? And he's hoping, I think he's trying to fall on the lines of Shannon Briggs, where he's going to win enough fights, okay, where somebody is going to have to fight him. I can't see it being that cruiserweight. I mean, I don't know what he's going to do.
You're talking about a champion.
I'm thinking that he's going after a title. On September 12th, he's going to have the World Boxing Federation Intercontinental Cruiserweight title. But more important than that, let's talk about this thing with Roy Jones. And I'm calling it the thing with Roy Jones.
I'm kind of lost for words. I mean, I'm trying to figure out exactly what his plan, because obviously you have to have a plan, okay? There has to be a goal. I mean, that's just the way you live life. You live life and you set goals, and, you're not going to reach all goals, but if you don't have goals set, then you're just lost. You're just a vagrant, okay? So you set your goals, and obviously this has to be some kind of plan for Roy Jones Jr. to say, go. Now maybe he does have that championship in sight, but I don't care who the champion is. There's not a champion out there that's going to shy away from Roy Jones. I
don't think so.
I mean,
not in the United States.
These fights are not going to make him any better. Roy Jones is Roy Jones. I mean, he at one time was the best in the business, without a doubt, second to none.
Yes.
So I mean, it's not like he needs any improvement on his knowledge and skills that he had as a young man. So you can keep beating inferior opponents. I'm not sure what advantage that's going to give you.
Like I said, I could think it's this Shannon Briggs type thing where he just keeps winning, and then he's going to be able to call out, what do we have now? Steve Cunningham? No.
Klitschko?
No, that's not going to happen.
What's Roy weighing? What's he fighting at?
Well, he's fighting cruiserweight.
Okay.
The cruiserweight division sucks. Okay, so that's probably his thing, is that he wants to be able to say, go out and say, I'm the cruiserweight champ, and then Roy, like he did before, he'll be. Remember when he was light heavyweight champ and he suckered up into John Ruiz and had the heavyweight joke title for a hot second? Maybe that's what his plan is. That's the only thing I could think. But the bottom line is this, is that as far as we're concerned here in the United States, Roy Jones now is a joke. And that's terrible because, like you said, at one time, there's no question, absolutely no question that Roy Jones was the best in the world. Okay? And now to see. And I don't think he needs the payday. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Showtime, it paid him. HBO pays him well enough.
As a commentator, yeah.
Yeah, that he doesn't need the money, but maybe it's just like you said with Chop Chop. Here's a guy that just can't let it go.
Yeah.
But the difference is that
he's going to get hurt.
Well, no, I think the difference is he's in Europe, and he's heads above those guys over there in the cruiserweight division. So he comes here, but it's a shame. As far as I'm concerned, it's a shame. So let's move on to the next thing. Speaking of shams and speaking of a shame, Shane Mosley versus Ricardo Mayorga, 12 rounds middleweights, and that fight's going to be in at Inglewood, held in Inglewood, California, televised pay-per-view on the Integrated Sports Channel. The only thing about that fight, I say, is not the fight itself. It was the undercard. If you remember, it was going to be the pay-per-view event, televised portion of it was going to be Maureen Shea and her taking on Julian Avila in a featherweight bout. And we were excited about that because, as we said before, it's a long time overdue for women to be on the televised portion of a pay-per-view event. And now that fight's in jeopardy, all because Shane Mosley did not do his homework, Aurelio. He didn't do his homework, and not realizing that Ricardo Mayorga is still under contract with Don King. Enough said.
We talked about that last week.
Yes, we did.
That we felt that fight wasn't going to happen simply because Don King filed, in a court of law to stop the fight
down there in Florida,
and he has it. And I read somewhere earlier where Sugar Shane had said that he believes the fight will go through because he thought that Don King's signature was a forgery on the contract. Now that doesn't make any sense, okay? Jeez. But since that, he actually interviewed with TMZ. Now, I'm gonna read this quote to you because I have to read it to you because I don't want anyone to think I'm not able to read a quote, okay? Steve, okay? Here's what Mosley is telling TMZ, okay? And these are quotes. I feel it's going to be kind of hard for the fight to take place. But there's some things that my legal team said that we can do to make it where it can actually get the fight. Okay? Now that's all right. You're saying, okay, well, what'd he say? He said he thinks he can get the fight. Okay? Now he follows that with, you ready? I'm reading this, okay? I'm reading this quote. Shane says, if the fight doesn't happen, not to fear. Now here's the quote. I hear there's other fights, pretty good fights out there as well on the same day. We're going to see how things go. Now, what the hell did I just say?
That reminds me of Smokey in Friday. He said, what the hell did you just say?
I mean
it makes absolutely no sense. On a serious note, you know what?
The fight's in jeopardy.
Well, the fight was in jeopardy in the beginning, Aurelio, like I said, because we all know that. See, and here's where Shane Mosley didn't do his homework. And it's costing him legal fees now. Ricardo Mayorga was scheduled for an MMA event earlier in the year. Or last year. That was canceled. Because Don King did the same thing. He stepped in at the last minute, said he's under contract with me.
So why would you even try it?
Why? Unless you talk to Don King. Go through Don King if you want that to happen. Now he's jeopardized not only the pay-per-view card, but like I said, the Maureen Shea and Avia fight. That it's just terrible.
Well, you know what? It may have been a blessing in disguise because I really couldn't see a whole lot of people buying that pay-per-view.
I disagree.
I disagree. Who wants to see Sugar Shane and Mayorga?
Well, remember the thing is that Sugar Shane, he's still a fan favorite. Amazingly, he's still a fan favorite. But more important than that, people love to see Mayorga get knocked out. I mean, you want to see Mayorga get knocked out.
He'll either get knocked out or quit. Like we talked about before, he wasn't coming in to win this fight.
And he's coming in to. We doubt if he could make weight. That was our first concern, is if he could even make weight.
Who else we got?
And the other thing we have is that in L.A. on the Premier Boxing Channel, we have on Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Marez for the vacant WBC Diamond Featherweight title. And that's going to be a good fight. Abner Marez has been adamant that he's going to knock out Leo Santa Cruz. I don't think so, but Abner's adamant he's going to do it, so that fight's going to be tremendous. Also, we have Hugo Ruiz versus Julio Cella, and that's for the vacant WBC interim junior featherweight title. So those are two good fights that'll be on, and that's once again.
Are they both on Premier?
That's on Heyman, yes. The Premier Boxing.
Well, that should definitely be a good fight. I think the Abner Myers fight and Santa Cruz will be more than entertaining. I think it'll be a good fight. I think Abner, he's kind of lost a little bit ever since he stopped hitting people in the balls. And since they put a stop to that, because you remember he used to go dig low. He used to dig low.
No problem.
And he hit him low plenty times and often. Okay,
and don't think that might not happen Saturday night.
Well, the referees caught on to that, so they ain't letting that happen. But I think it's still going to be well worth it because you know what, I like Santa Cruz. I like Santa Cruz.
I like Leo too.
And I think Leo's going to come in, and I think Leo has his mind focused on bigger and better things. So I think he's going to come in well prepared. I think he'll come in well prepared. I'll pick him to win. I'll pick him to win the fight and move on.
I'm going to take Abner just because he said he's going to knock him out. I want to see it. But anyway, that's the end of our this second episode. We're going to come back with the next episode where it's going to be strictly about the amateur action that we had and some interesting stuff and how that'll lead into all in amateurs now is leading up to 2016 in Rio de Janeiro with the 2016
We're
Olympics.
getting close. We're getting close.
All right.
All right. Come back and see us on our next episode. Till then, keep them hands up.
Keep them up, baby.